All right, let's get our Lego hair going. So I'm going to start with straight hair, but if you don't have straight hair, you can go ahead and skip forward. I've got wavy, curly, and textured hair. So please jump to the hair that works for you. So starting off with straight hair, we are going to do the standard hairstyle. It is a short, straight haircut that is the most common among Lego men. So we are going to arch up, curve down, and connect to the side. Then we're going to wrap all the way around and around again. So when it comes to Lego hair, the most important part of it is the outside shape and not necessarily all the lines on the inside. So this next one I'm going to do is going to be a longer hairstyle. So we're going to do our nice little arch like the first one, connect it down to the other side, and then just go out and around all the way down. We're going to draw a couple lines in there, the straight lines, just to show that there's some hair in there. This is something that you will do with all of the hairstyles, just adding a few, except for maybe this next one. So I am going to do a mohawk in case you're feeling like giving yourself a mohawk. Now this self-portrait is all about you. It can be exactly how you look, or it can be how you want to look. It's all up to you. So I'm going to start with the bottom part of my head, and I'm going to make a couple triangles up and down and connect them all together. And then I will draw just a line across the top of the head. Sorry that my thumb kind of cut that out, but it's a pretty basic shape to do. So this next one is in case you wanted to wear a hat. This one's a little bit more difficult, so bear with me. We are going to draw a bottom frowny face. Then right above it or below it, you're going to draw a second one and then a third. You'll connect to the sides because that's the bill, and then there's the back part. You draw a little button on, and there is your hat. This next one is going to be about a medium length hair. So let me draw the head in here. And you're going to do it just like you did the one above. So we've got that arch. We'll connect it back to the side, go straight down, and then we'll just cut straight in towards the neck. And add some lines to show that there's some hair. The thing about Lego hair is that they all have relatively the same part. So I'm just going to let you watch and see how this is done. I suggest before you do it on your real portrait, you try out a hairstyle a couple times. That's what I did. I probably did about 6 of these papers before I finally videotaped myself doing it, because it took me a little bit of practice. Now this one right here is a side pony. So you just kind of arch it off to the side and bring it right back in. Kind of almost like a teardrop shape off to the side. Add a couple lines and there's your hair. So for the next one, after I draw my head in, we're going to do a middle part just to switch things up. So instead of going all the way to the side, about the middle, we're just going to curve it out, almost like the top if we were to draw like a Christmas tree. And then I'm just going to add some lines in, and then arch over, around, and connect. It kind of almost looks like a leaf in a way. And there is another hairstyle for you. This next one is if you just wanted to be bald and you wanted to draw the top of what a Lego head looks like. Remember, this is your self-portrait. It's up to you. You can draw yourself however you would like. So we'll round it over. And then we're going to go straight up just a little bit. And then draw an oval, a very skinny oval to connect. This next one's going to be kind of if you have one side of your hair longer than the other. So we are going to do the same exact beginning arch, starting on the left side, moving all the way over to the other side, connecting it back with a half round, going up and over just like the shorter one, cutting over, but then we just keep one side a little bit shorter. Once you've done a couple of the hairstyles, it gets a little bit easier. Now this next one is going to look a little different. It is going to be kind of a zigzag front to the hair. So I'm going to start with making some zigzags right across the top connecting. Then I'm going to have it down a little bit and kind of do a nice round, almost mushroom shape over the top. And there we go. That was the next one. Like I said, once you get the hang of it, it goes a little bit quicker. So I'm just going to draw two heads really quick, and then I'm going to show you a long hair braided look. So let me get this head in, and I'll do it on this one here. So I'm going to do the same part, side part there. We're going to go over to the edge, and then what we're going to do is going to slowly curve every other side in, and then barely connect them. This one's a little bit challenging. So if you wanted to have your Lego person, your Lego self-portrait braided, you might want to try this a couple times before, or maybe walk your way through it with me on here. Now this last one right here is what I'm going to do straight across bangs. So I'm going to go just kind of draw a line straight across and then do similar to the short hairstyle, but instead of doing all of my lines to the side, I did those few straight down to show that the hair was going in that direction. Alright, I think that my straight hair is gone pretty well here, so why don't we jump on over to Wavy. Alright, well, welcome to Wavy Hairstyles. So Wavy is very similar to straight hair. The only difference is instead of using straight lines, you just kind of use a little bit of wavy lines. So I'm going to do a little bit of curvy lines as I'm drawing my regular shapes. Alright, so let's keep rolling. Let's do a bit of long wavy hair. So what I'm going to start with first is the bottom half of my head. Then I'm going to do a side part, but I'm going to make my lines wavy as I do them. And all the way down, go over to the side and all the way down. So it looks like it from the outside of a wavy hair, but we need to make sure we add little wave marks showing the direction the hair is going to go in. You don't want a whole lot of wavy lines, just enough to give you the idea that there's hair there. Now that long hairstyle will go all the way down to your shoulders. Now next I'm going to do a similar one to the one I just did, except for the hair is a little bit shorter. It doesn't go all the way to the shoulders. So I'm going to do that same part with the wavy line, curving up but not touching, then curving down, connecting. And now this part, when I go down, I'm going to stop and go straight towards the neck to show that the hair stops there. Then I'll add those little waves in to show the wavy hair. So if you would like, you can watch some of the straight hairstyles and you can do a bunch of different wavy ones, or you can sit and watch me finish up a few more different wavy hairstyles. This one right here is going to be a side pony. So you're going to start it off just like the top one above it. So you're going to start with a kind of wavy line, curving up, not touching, and then we're going to go over to the side and connect this one. We're not going to go over, we're going to connect it right on, and then what we're going to do is kind of arch our way over and bring it right back up. Make sure to add some lines in there. I think for this video, I actually forgot to add those extra little hairlines, so for you, please don't forget them. This next one, I'm going to do the first one again so we can see it a little bit better. So here is the head, here's the neck. Now for this one, I did kind of mess up. I did the opposite. So instead of doing that part first, I kind of did my waves on top and then brought them back down. So whatever way to do it works for you is what you should be doing. It's all about you and your artwork. What works for me might not always work for you, and that's okay. So this next one is going to be kind of braided hair that is wavy hair. But first I want to let you know, instead of straight lines, always use wavy lines if you have wavy hair. Okay, so let's do this last one that is a braided style. So I'm going to draw the head really quick here, and then the neck. And now my part, the same wavy part that goes up and to the side. And then we're going to pull it around, but we need to make sure we are kind of almost like crisscrossing, going a little bit further over to the other side. This is a challenging one, so if this is the one that you choose to use, I suggest that you try it a few times. So make sure we're doing wavy lines, curving in, and there we go. There are our wavy hairstyles. Alright, so we are going to move on to curly and textured hair. So this one's only going to be a difference on how tight your zigzag is. So for straight hair, we use straight lines. For wavy hair, we use wavy lines. For textured or extremely curly hair, we are going to use zigzags. The closer and smaller your zigzags are, the tighter your curls are going to look. So we're going to start with the basic short haircut. Here is the head, we'll draw in the neck, and then we are going to do a side part. So start from one side, do our zigzag line up and not touching, and then connect it back down with a curve. Start below, go all the way around, and connect back to that first part. And there we go, we've got our first one. Make sure when you put your little details in your hair, they are little zigzag lines. And I'm noticing right now that you can't really see all too well how much the zigzag lines are looking. So I apologize for that. This hairstyle is going to be same, just a little bit bigger. So more round, more mushroom shaped, but it is zigzagging around. And any way that you put the inside lines is going to show the way the hair is moving. So keep that in mind as you are drawing. Now this next one is one of my favorite ones. It's a pigtail, but it's kind of like two rounded buns for pigtails. So we're going to do the same side part, except for instead of bringing the hairline lower, we're going to meet right at that point. So it kind of looks like a little leaf. And then we are going to do just a round shape off of each side. Making sure to do zigzags. If you wanted to look a little bit looser curls, remember bigger zigzags. And your lines in your hair show what direction it is moving. Now this next one is a little bit hard to do with zigzags, but I'm going to try my best. This next one is going to be a braid. So now that I've got everything ready to go, we are going to draw the head, the neck, and now that same exact part we've been working with. Going up and then arching back down. Now they're going to go way over to the side of the head, not touching. So all the way over, we're not going to touch that back side there. And we're going to curve in a little bit. Then we are going to pull from the other side and curve out. Connect again, curve back in, curving out. We're not quite touching the other line or side. Make sure that you are doing your zigzags so that you get that curly hairstyle. And the same thing is going to happen on the other side. Now this is hard because sometimes you just really want them to touch each other. But make sure that we are not doing that so that it gives you that braided look. Now don't forget to put your details in there. I have forgotten my details. So this next one is going to be my attempt for some very tight small braids. Now I didn't have any references to go off of for this one, so I do apologize if it doesn't look exactly how we would imagine. So I'm just doing zigzag lines straight down. Now this is one where I'm taking all of these lines and I'm zigzagging straight down. The only difference is at the end of these zigzags down, it's like a standard straight hairstyle, but with zigzags, and at the very end what I am doing is I am connecting them and rounding them out so they look like one thick strand of hair or possibly really tightly braided pieces of hair. Making sure to show the direction that the hair is going. Going around the head, making sure to keep that zigzag pattern. Going all the way down, and I wait until the very end to connect them so that if I have to add another one, or it's also a way for me to make sure that they stay closer together to show that they're smaller braids. And there we go. You would go right up to the shoulders for this one. Alright, I've got 2 more left, and really what they are is just a little different type of zigzag. Let me finish this little one off here. I forgot about it. So the most important thing is the part. The part is so similar on Lego people that it's almost always off to the side. There are some that are straight down the middle, and if that's how you want to part your hair, absolutely go ahead and part your hair that way. But just know most of my hairstyles are going to be parted off to the side, like these last 2. So this one's going to be a standard short hair again, just showing a little bit of a difference with the zigzag. I'm sorry about the camera shake. So the main difference with this one is going to be the inside lines. They're really tiny zigzags, showing that it's really tiny curls in there. Really tight, tiny curls. Alright, and then if you felt that the zigzags for my examples were possibly a little bit too tight or too close together for how your hair is, here's another example of a looser zigzag or a more spread out zigzag. So we are going to do the same part, the same style as the one above, just not trying to get that really braided look, just kind of looking like your hair is curly and laying flat. I guess flat isn't the right answer. So I mean that your hair is looking curly and almost laying naturally, more so than laying flat. And there we go. Those are all of the examples I have for you. You are welcome to look up any other examples that you might find. Now it's time to move on to the faces, so go check out the next video.